Hello everyone, it's Lynette with Charmed Grammy Crochet. Today is Wednesday. I think it's the 9th of February. And I think this is Charmed Chapter, I don't know, 279 or 280. I'm sorry, I didn't check. But it'll be right in the description, in the title. So I'm coming to you today from the yarn room. I have it done, and so this is the final show off of the yarn room. Or reveal, I guess, of the yarn room, my yarn room anyway, and the studio where I'll be keeping stuff, but not yarn, maybe some scraps. That's the attic. I'm not done with that, but I'll show you this, and then I'll show you the other when it is done. So I'm going to flip you around, so close your eyes for just a second, and we will enter the actual room. Okay, so this is a moving video, so I hope I don't go too fast. As you will recall, I had these 3 bookcases, 1, 2, and 3. They used to be, 2 of them used to be back to back here, and then the third one facing, so they were 2 back to back and 1 facing. And they came out about this far into the room. Like to where the edge of this desk, or to this edge, like here, to the edge of the windows. This is a very small room, so that's pretty far into the room, and it really made it tight, real tight in here, and I couldn't stand it. It was claustrophobic. I really didn't have enough space between the walls and the sideways cabinet, or bookshelves, to get in there well and see, and it was dark, shaded. The light couldn't get there very well because I have stuff up there, which I'll show you in a minute. So I'm really not quite sure where I want to start with what's going on, but I organized, so we'll start here. First, at the ceiling, the yellow and the yarn next to the yellow, that's all blanket. That's all the blanket yarn I have. I don't really care to make, I don't like to work with it. It's thick, and it works up beautifully. Very nice blankets, but it wears me out, man. It's a lot of work to work with blanket yarn, I think. And then we have bulky yarns. So from the white, these reds, there's a black, and the ones on top, those are bulky. Then we go to the 4-weight bulky yarn, or 4-weight. These are all the big balls. And down at the end are 3-weight yarns, sport yarns. So this is what I'm going to work on first to get rid of. Because that's a lot of yarn up there, and it's hard to keep it up there. It's hard to get to it. But all my yarn is in one spot, and I like that. So those yarns up there are going to be... like when I go stash diving, that's what I want to look at first, is to use up those yarns. Then we come down here and we start with skinny cakes. So behind this, these are all skinny cakes. This is the butterfly from Premier. Oh my God, such a beautiful yarn. But these are all skinny cakes. My grandkids made me that. And that, I just have had that elephant for a while till we get to where I ran out of skinny cakes, so I just put chunky cakes. And in here is scrubby yarn. Oh, up in there is like silk yarns. Then we come down here, and I started with the 4-weights, and all the neutral colors are in the first row: grays, whites, blacks, tans. Then we started with rainbow, red to orange to yellow, greens, teals, blues. This is from my good friend Madonna, my elephant apron, which I totally love, but would never ever wear because I would splatter and spill and ruin it. So that's not happening. So I display it in here, and I love it in here. And really, I should change the direction of these, but anyway. Then we have the pinks, and we go into the purples. This is my scarf, my Mardi Gras scarf that I got in a swap from Joe's Web, from JoJo. Then we go into the sparkle yarns. So all this is the bottom three, these three, they're all sparkly or sequenced. Then the next row starting at the bottom, again sparkly and sequenced, and then we get up into the like landscape type of yarns. And I have 2 knit crate boxes, and then this is the silky yarn, Soft Secret. You know, the silky yarns are there, except for back here is Low Tide. And underneath that is all of my Sweet Divinity. So these are kind of by type of yarn, you know, brand. Then in this basket, these are just whip bags. That's yarn I have to, let's see, in here, this is empty. This is my Billy bag. Billy crocheted that for me, and I totally love it. And she gave it to me in Florida. And this bag I crocheted, and the hat that I made, the yarn is in there for review when I make the tutorial, which I should do soon. This is chenille parfait yarn. That's what it is, parfait yarn, in my volcano basket that I made when I was a newbie crocheter. And all of that yarn, I have 4 skeins in there that I bought from AC Moore Stitch Studio yarn that I want to make a blanket for, and so it's a project. It's just not done or started. It's in my brain. And the yarn ball next to that I got from Rosalie. Isn't it awesome? It's a doorstop. Then in this shelf is all variegateds, all the way up to on top. And well, the basket has scrubby yarn in it. And my husband did mount these to the wall so we don't have a yarn avalanche again. Then in here at the top is cotton lightweight. Then my hand dyeds, mostly knit crates. Then this row is just unusual yarns that I don't have a lot of, so they're in there. Then all the rest down is animal fiber yarns. And then my basket of one weight, the, you know, like the twisters and those kind of yarns are in there. Over here is my bag full of whip bags, empty project bags. This bag, this is how I had stored yarn when I cleaned out my room. I put it all in vacuum seal bags, or a lot of it anyway, and put it in the hallway going up the stairs. This is all Stitch Studio yarn that I have a blanket pattern I want to make. And so when every time I would go in, they would run these little, what do they call them? Studio Basic yarns. They would run them on sale for $1. And so I would buy some with all the rest of my yarn purchases. I would buy a couple of each color until I thought I would have enough for a blanket. I just kept adding to and adding to and adding to it. And then they went out of business. So I hope I have enough to make the blanket that I want. And the basket below has all of my kitchen cotton. I know you can't see it, but I know that's what's in there, so it's okay. That basket there is all my True Boo that I was going to use to make the summer top that I'm going to do with Nancy from She's Got Yarn. And then found out that True Boo might be too warm to make that summer top, so we switched, and I'm going to do different yarn. Then at the bottom down here is all like latte cakes and hygge, like the furry soft yarns. I just left these 2 purples because they're purple and they're pretty. So they're kind of decorative yarn for me. Then these are all 4-weight-ish, I think. I think they're mostly all 4-weight cake yarn. In here, in this basket, are these little guys. The Mandala Craft mandala craft cakes that I bought a bunch of on a whim. And there's this just yarn in here in the denim. Pamela from Pamela's Adoring Crochet has wonderful doll patterns, and I bought that to use her patterns to make jeans yarn. I mean, to make jeans, because it looks like jeans to me. But she has doll patterns that have pants that, you know, I want to make jeans for my grandkids' doll. And I haven't gotten around to it yet, but that's the yarn for it. So that yarn has a project. And I think I might take these yarns and do them like I did that blanket that I showed you that I made for the, you know, just ombre them together to make square blankets. I did the circle, you know, the popcorn circles and did that. And I think I might use these to do that too. I'm not sure. Or make doll clothes out of them. This is the yarn that, except for the black one, that's filler, but to hold the basket up. This is the basket that I made, I think is a project from the crochet calendar. And then, I think that's what that was from. And it's like a t-shirt kind of yarn, but it's not really t-shirt yarn, but it's similar. And these are the red skeins of, what is that, Knit Picks? A paint box that Madonna sent me for Christmas when we did our Christmas swap. And I've never had paint box yarn. It's very soft. I really like it. But I haven't used it, and so that's where that sits. I know it looks Christmassy, but I just never changed it out. But it fits there, so I like it, and I'm leaving it. And so then we get to this hodgepodge of yarns here. All that is Christmas yarn that I bought from Hirschner's at Christmas time in the top cubby. Then this cubby is all Baby Bee Love, what's it called? Baby Lulu. It's like a cloud, puffy, almost furry kind of yarn, big halo, kind of like a latte cake actually. But that's all that type of yarn. This is all my gazelle yarn. This is all fresco fibers, and then we start with some cakes or leftover cakes, then the sugar cakes, sugar wheel. So this is all cotton except for the cloud. So then we get into the rest of the bulky that didn't fit in the other shelf, and cotton, bamboo, and baby. And then these are my cotton cakes, and at the top, the first three, well, the first one mostly is real thin yarns that's mostly purple. And then the next two boxes are like fur and pompadoodle and funky yarns like that. Then we go into my sugar, what are these? DK and sweet roll, DK colors and sweet rolls. And then this right here finally is all the bulky weight yarn in this cabinet, except for what went over in that corner that didn't fit in this cabinet. Everything in here is a Luna. It's just called Luna Yarns from, is it Premier, I believe? And it's similar to, yeah, this is Premier Luna Yarns. And I love how it gives you this, you know, that shows you the colorway knitted up. Oh, and my pom-poms are in there to keep my elephant up on. And another thing from JoJo. And then finally, the last item in here is Shawnable or cake, whatever it is now. But that's what's in the yarn room. So I have a bench, which I don't know if you noticed. I did have stuff sitting on it, but I have this bench, and I love sitting in here now. And I kind of want to bring my camera down and just film in here because it's a fun room now. I enjoy it so much. I enjoy being able to see my yarn. It's inspirational. Makes me smile to be in this room. Whereas before I didn't like being in here because it was too claustrophobic. And by the way, my curtains are purple. Just so you know, I know when they were closer up, it might have looked blue, but they're purple because it's me. And that is my favorite color. So anyway, I do enjoy being in here. I do like look at the yarns now and say, oh, I want to make this out of this and I want to make this out of this. So I'm really glad that I took the time and the work to rearrange the room. But if I bring my my light down here and my ring light, and then like a real chair, and then it's gonna get all cluttered in here again. And I would like a more comfortable seat, but I don't know that I would really crochet in here because it's filled with yarn, but it's kind of lonely when you're by yourself. So anyway, this is the newly decorated yarn room, and this might go upstairs because I'm keeping projects that I have the yarn for, that I have set aside and know it's a project. I'm planning on making a space on the one wall there for some people do like pick my next whip, or what bag should I do next kind of thing. I know Laura from Mad Mimi's Crochet does a pick your whip, and she pulls out whip bags, and they're projects that she's put together. Well, I have projects like that as well, where I have the yarn, I know what I want to make out of it, and I just haven't taken the time to do so. So I think I need to like do a work on it Wednesday or something and start a project, and work, every Wednesday I'm going to work on that particular project, and get some of those made, because I have several things that I want to make, like the blanket, this, and if you'll notice, this is orange colors. And in my volcano basket over here, not to make you dizzy, they're orange colors, orange and grays. I don't know why purple's my favorite color, but I don't have one purple whip project. What's up with that? I don't know. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the tour of the yarn room. And maybe sometimes I will record in here for videos, just because it's now really a fun place to be, particularly if you like yarn. So that's all I got for you. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.